We're currently shivering through an extremely bitter blast of Antarctic weather. Those of you who think Australia is always hot, you're very, very wrong. But it seems an appropriate time to introduce you to yet another new weapon. So after the shearing sword, the alehouse dagger and the English buckler, we've got something else to show you. This is what I'm calling the Celtic harp shield. So this is a heater shield. These were of course used all over Europe from about the 12th or 13th century onwards, including in Scotland. And on Hebridean grave slabs from the sort of 13th century onwards, you usually see guys equipped with one of these. Now, heater shields have many good qualities. They're good passive defense. They can cover both sides with fairly minimal action because your hand is in line with this. If somebody gets too close, you've got a lovely point there to punch them with, and there's a point there you can use as well. There's a few things they're not good at though. They're not very good at defending the legs. If somebody cuts at my legs, it's very hard to get the shield down there in any sort of useful or meaningful way. And it has the problem that pretty well all shields have. If somebody thrusts in over my shield like this, I can cover that. I can lift up like this, or I can extend it out. But in either case, I lose sight of the sword, which exposes me to a cut underneath. So I go up, which is broadsword and targe 101, of course. Now, on one particular grave slab, that of MacLean of Duart, we have a variation on the heater shield, which looks like this. So I was curious as to what it did, so I made one so I could find out. And as you can see, it's got this kind of extension up there. So things I can say about it is, first of all, it's definitely not as well balanced as the other one. This extra bit definitely makes it less manoeuvrable, but it does offer some significant advantages. First of all, if someone cuts at my leg, I can get down there and actually parry it because of this extended hook thing, which I cannot do with a normal heater shield. Also, if somebody makes the thrust over the top, I can cover it with this bit, but I can still see because of this cutout bit here. So if somebody does the high-low thing, I can see that and I can follow it all the way down. So it solves two of the major problems of normal heater shields, which is very cool. So, So, I'm calling this a harp shield. I think it's different enough to the heater shield in terms of shape and the way that you use it that it deserves its own special name. And it kind of looks like a Celtic harp, which you also get on Highland grave slabs. And when I started this video, I was going to say that as far as you know, MacLean of Duart was the only chap in the history of the world to have one of these up until now. But then, looking through my sources, I kind of randomly came across another image of one. So this is a French manuscript from the 14th century. It purports to show Irish soldiers, which at that period could easily be Scots galliglasses. And they're using a mix of what look like studded leather targes and heater shields. And the chap in the middle looks very much like he's got one of these harp shields. So a couple of other things to say quickly. The first is that if you're familiar with the literature on this stuff, you'll know that academics will claim that the equipment shown on these grave slabs is not necessarily representative of what people were really using, that these shields were just armorial affectations. They were there because it's a convenient shape to show the coat of arms of the person who's died. I think that's rubbish, and this pretty well proves it, because you don't just invent something that this effective and this cool in this particular strange shape. Okay, so these graves were showing real stuff, what the chieftains were actually wearing, and presumably were known for. The other question is, which MacLean of Duart used this shield? There are, of course, been many MacLeans of Duart, some of which we don't have any historical record of. We can only deduce their existence because somebody held that position during periods of time for which there is no historical record. But I think it was the MacLean of Duart who died at Flutton, defending the king. He actually turned up a day late, and the MacLeans went in and ended up protecting the Scottish king and died doing so. Now, that's in 1516, which is relatively late for the use of a heater shield. But the reason I think it's that is that in its original situ, according to the books, this particular effigy was in a row of effigies, and 2 effigies up was this lady, who died in 1511, and we know that because it's actually written on the grave. And presuming that they were all carved around about the same era, then 1513 is about right. So if anybody has any concrete evidence that I'm wrong about that, I'd be really interested to hear it. But regardless, we have references all the way up to the late 17th century of the Highland host turning up in their mail coats and helmets and other armour and carrying shields, which are described as targets and shields of the most strange and antique design, which must refer to heater shields. So, you know, the heater shields seem to hang around in the Highlands for quite a long time. And, you know, indeed, if you have a perfectly good shield, why would you throw it away? So that is my little introduction to the Celtic harp shield. I can highly recommend that you make one if you're interested in medieval Scottish stuff, because it's really, really cool design and works super well. So thanks for watching.